Welcome, everybody, to mostly laughter, some slaughter, Urban Shadows Edition. So this is the first session we've done of this, although we have done some other stuff that's in sort of the same world. Uh, I guess I'll have to ask you, Jay, exactly how much they are linked. Um,
Well, yeah, for those who tuned in before, this is, I wouldn't say a continuation at all of Funkadelic Frankenstein, but it's definitely inspired by Funkadelic Frankenstein and trying out a different engine. It's supposed to be dark, gritty, and emo. With this group, I cannot guarantee any of those elements.
No,
But
not even close.
we will try.
Huh.
It's my first time GMing in probably 10 years officially, other than some little test stuff. So it's been a while since I've done GMing, so we'll see how it goes. Never, ever played Apocalypse World engine stuff, ever.
Despite that, I have confidence in you.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
So I am
fine.
definitely getting my feet wet into this.
Okay.
So yes, Jason is running, which is new, and you know we just discussed
Strange.
it, and now I'm announcing it after the fact or something. I don't know.
Everything must be repeated in triplicate. This has been well
Of
established.
course, of course.
By the way, everybody, Jason is.
Thank you, Leo.
No problem.
Rules of three. Rules of three.
All hail
Oh,
of the
yes.
computer.
All
hail
hail
the
the computer.
Oh, yeah, look at the other. Oh, sorry. Too slow.
And
Christmas too late. Christmas be recycled.
So we're
That's
gonna like finish up character generation. I'm going to kind of start character generation. Sorry, sorry,
Okay, we have to
sorry,
finish
Jay.
off.
Sorry, world.
We have to finish off Chris's as well. And
Okay.
we'll kind of go through the Urban Shadows process anyways, because some of it is character creation on the go to try to add elements into the system the best we can.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's supposed to be a very fluid system. My brain has a hard time with that. So it's going to be a fluid system where Jason is putting you on rails. So it should be good. Think it as a broken rail shooter, maybe. We'll see.
Awesome.
Scrolling sugar.
And as Brad,
Yeah, and since I'm still fighting with screen elements, I'll just turn it over to you and try and
Sure.
finish up quickly.
So what we'll do is we'll go to Chris's character first.
Okie dokie.
Um, so we need to fill in your stats here, Chris.
Okie dokie. I got it in front of me, the character sheet as we speak. Just let her
So
out.
Chris is playing a veteran. For the archetype of veteran, basically you're old school with experience. And even though we were kind of doing Chris's character for his background, veterans are also supposed to have, because they're kind of the old guard, they're supposed to have lots of connections and stuff. And definitely can work that in for Chris's character. So what we need to do is fill up Chris's basic stats. And
Okay.
our basic stats are blood, heart, mind, and spirit.
Okie dokie.
So you're going to start off because archetypes are all kind of set in stone.
Yeah.
You're going to start off with a blood of -1,
Okay.
a heart of 1, a mind of 1, and a spirit of 0.
Man.
You fill those out in the boxes. You can
Already
then add, just fill those out of the boxes in your character sheet for yourself.
Yep.
There's
Already.
Okay, and then add +1 to one of those that you want. And let me know which one you're putting +1 to.
I'll put in heart.
Sounds good. So that'll give you a heart of 2 to start off with.
Sure, why not?
Oh, Leo, what is your character's name?
Oh,
Hard to pronounce.
Einhard Steiner.
Reinhardt?
Einhard.
Einhard.
Steiner. I'll put it down.
Egad.
We also need to go to your factions, Chris.
Yes.
You have for your factions. You should have numbers for your factions. You have a 1 immortality, and the rest are at 0.
Okay.
And you can then add +1 to those of choice.
Okay, I want to morality to be the human perspective for this group.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. As for gear, I think your character should have a gear section where you just add the gear.
Yes.
So let me copy and paste your gear, because the other thing that we'll have to work out is kind of what Joe did ahead of time, which is good. Okay, and can you see that? It didn't come out very well, did it?
I didn't see anything.
Okay, should be under gear, I think.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Oh yeah,
too
I see
much
it.
stuff.
I see it now. You put it basically in a line.
Yeah, too much stuff on one line.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what would you like, an apartment or warehouse?
I'll say an apartment because I believe I'm being roomies with the wizard there.
I do like this idea. So, unlike Funkadelic Frankenstein, everybody has cars apparently.
Ah, that defeats the purpose.
Okay.
Oh no, we don't get to have a montage where we're trying to figure out how we get to another part of the city. That was some of the best parts of that game.
Got abducted by aliens and joy kiss. What more can you want?
The intent is not to be citywide, though. This is definitely supposed to be contained in a couple of neighborhoods. So, what would you like? A nice car or a pickup truck, Chris?
I'll take a nice 70s car.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll go add another. So car. These don't really have any stats to them. That's fine. Okay. Now, because we're 1970s, no one has smartphones, so we're going to give you what everybody has had, which is payphone access and a Yellow Pages.
No, we all have CB radios. Breaker, good buddy.
Oh, that actually makes more sense.
Kind of hard. Well, okay. Then I'll also say I have the payphone because I don't actually have a car. I've got a bike.
Okay.
But being as how I'm a wizard, there's probably times where I pick up a phone and suddenly start picking up CB radio for some reason.
We can definitely work that in.
Yep.
I don't really care that much about that. Okay. So we then have to do because we'll do debts together, we have to do a workspace for Chris. So the workspace is the description here. You have workspace that includes a large space for tools and or supplies. When you go to your workspace to work on something, the MC, that's me, tells you what it will take to complete. Now, again, we're not quite sure how often we're going to use this. We'll see how far on the tangent you're going to go. I'm going to have you guys on a fairly tight schedule, though. I'm going to kind of doing the whole plot line over like a course of maybe a day or two at most.
Okay.
So
I want
choose 3 things. 3 things out of automotive hoist and tools, a dark room, a regulated growing environment, 2 or 3 skilled assistants, a junkyard of raw materials, machining tools, transmitter and receivers, a testing ground, deadly booby traps. I will mark that for Chris right now. A library of old books, a scatter of ancient relics, a mystic focus, magical boards, medical station, operating room, high-tech electronics and computers, which is going to be ticker tape, and advanced surveillance system, a forge, science lab, a porthole to another dimension.
Okay. You only get 3, right?
You can only get 3.
Okay. My advanced surveillance is named Ralph. He's my dog.
Okay. Yes. Ralph the dog.
Okay.
I am okay with this. I might add him in as a real thing. Okay. I'm going to put this in the... Yes. So we'll go put this in notes as well. Whoops.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Ralph the dog.
So workspace, Ralph the dog. That is the most amazing thing ever. Okay.
Okay.
That is one.
Okay. I'm a draft dog. I basically went AWOL after my last tour of duty. So I'm a bit of let's just say I've seen First Blood a few too many times.
Did I just put down deadly booby traps and be done with
Might
it?
as well. You know it's coming.
Seriously.
I'm suddenly really happy I have the ability to teleport.
No wonder he's in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. And communication gear, because that way I can annoy people by pretending to be a CV radio operator.
Wasn't Vietnam over in about 1973, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter in my time. Doesn't matter in this time scale. I can make it any time I want.
Have an X.
It never ended.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, when that George Bush guy gets elected, it's still going on, baby.
Yeah. It just moved. It migrated.
Well, that is how it goes.
Oh,
No.
Horse, no time, they just migrate and spread.
Yes. So communication equipment, deadly traps, and Ralph the dog.
so what I'm going to do for communication equipment, Chris, if you don't mind, I'll put this in the notes page under your character.
Oh, right on. Okay, sure.
I was thinking shortwave radio station. We'll give you a pirate radio station. If you
Yeah,
want
I want a UHF radio station, pirate radio station.
it.
'Cause I'm the conspiracy guy at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I am perfectly okay with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're on Chris's character, we're going to do what we have done for everybody else. There are some characters on your character sheet, and we're just going to go through these. So with Chris,
Yes.
who are you?
Who am
That's
I?
the first question. This is straight out of the book.
The first question: who do you think you are?
Who are you?
Well, you know,
What is your name?
Yes.
I used to be known as Sergeant Robert Walton of the Green Berets, you know, back in the day. Spent some time down in Charlie when I got career-rifted, got set up for Black Ops training, and then something happened. Something bad. I have a bit of a mental block when it comes to it here, but I didn't want to spend the time in the thing anymore, so I hopped on a slow boat to China and ended up back here eventually. I saw something I probably shouldn't have seen in the first place. Something involving a yellow ribbon. That's all I remember from that period. How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay.
And I'm going to type that in on your character sheet if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it. Let's...
Okay. How long have you been in the city? Now, the veteran, again, has very specific moves that I think should be marked off in your character sheet. We'll go back and double check. Okay. So, yeah, one of the things the veteran starts off with is a move called Old Friends, Old Favors. So, how long have you been in the city?
Well, I've been in there for about a year now. You know, not much longer than that. You know, I'm still looking over my shoulder. It's why, you know, Ralph was the best friend I've ever had here. So, found him on the streets of Vancouver. Nursed him back to health because I'm that sort of guy. He's hung around with me ever since.
Okay. What is your greatest accomplishment in the city? Again, I'm just going straight from the book.
Well, I like telling people about all about the evil government operations that seem to be happening down in the Southwest Pacific. You know, it's not pretty, guys. I've been there. We've all been there. And there are things out there that people they don't know anything about. And someone's got to tell them, and that someone apparently is me.
So I will put starting your crazy pirate radio station, and someone has to tell them. That's your best thing.
Yeah, we're kind of building organically here.
So the other weird question is, why do you stop? And I think that's the draft dodger stuff. So I will just put saw something you shouldn't have seen.
Yeah. And that way we can always fill it in later as we figure it out. Like it was something involving the government and dark Lovecraftian horrors. Beyond that, we'll fill it in later.
So what do you desperately need?
I want a beer. Anything else to that point?
You need a
Okay, that's gotta be a
It's
little
an American beer, damn
bit.
Oh no, I got addicted on European beer, which is one of the reasons I'm still looking for this shit up here.
it.
So what are you looking for?
Oh, what's my quest, basically, for lack of a better term?
Are you looking for proof?
I'll say I'm going to make him the conspiracy guy, if it's okay by you guys, because I think that's actually helping here.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
cool.
proof of what the hell I saw, and that way it'll give me a chance to film this out there.
Okay. So
And that's why I end up hanging around with a guy with a funny hat.
we're gonna go looking for proof of your beliefs.
Yeah, that works.
And liquor. And liquor.
Damn straight.
Okay.
You know, I'm not quite a wino. Don't hit the hard stuff, but every so often I need a good beer, and nobody's getting my way.
Now, we will make sure we go through this for everybody, including anybody watching us. But because of this, I'm adding one extra question I think I'm going to add to everybody's thing, beyond just the Urban Shadows questions. What is your opinion of Halloween, Chris, as a character?
For the kids.
For the kids.
You know, it seems like a good thing. Bunch of little kids running around, getting candy, you know.
That sounds
I
good.
wasn't here for the whole big massacre last time, so,
Yeah.
you know, as far as I know, it's just some kid holiday. It's not a big deal.
So we have some other
One of the few
things.
things I don't have a conspiracy on.
Okay. So you start off with a faction move, and I'm going to put this under your class moves. Now, the problem is about the class moves is they are a little hard to cut and paste into the thing and see well. So we
Well, I
will
got the thing open if you need me. Like, I got it in front of me here.
yeah, we might have to cut and paste them as we need. So you start off with old friends, old favors, which means when you first encounter an NPC, you may declare them an old friend instead of trying to put a face to the name and roll with mind. On a hit, they offer you comfort and aid, even if it exposes them to danger or retribution. On a 7-9, tell me why you owe them a debt. On a miss, tell the MC why they want you dead. So that's kind of your connection one. That's going to be mind. So make sure that's mind. And then you get two more. You can take true artist, invested, too old for this shit, which I'm really, really leaning towards, but that's up to you. The best laid plans, or gun to a knife fight.
I'm going to say too old to this shit and gun to a knife fight, because I'm the sort of guy, I'm in conspiracy mode, I'm okay to, I'm not great, but then the frickin' AK-47, the M16 comes out every so often.
Good. So, too old for this shit. When you get caught up in a fight, you try to prevent, you get +1 armor and take +1 ongoing to seeing yourself and others to safety, which is perfect. And gun to knife fight, when you unleash on somebody by seriously escalating conflict, roll with mind instead of blood.
Yeah.
Because your blood is a little low. And I'm fine with those. Okay, so if we need to, we'll come back and look those up. I'll try to make sure I keep the character shorthand sheets in mind.
Okay.
But I think we should be good for that.
Yeah, and I believe it's gear as well. I apparently have 3 different types of weapons I can pick.
Okay, yes, we have gear. And the weird thing is, gear is one of those things that is not the biggest deal in the world. But yes, you do have gear that you need to pick from. So we already have your warehouse, your nice car, your CB. We worked out your workstation. So you can take a Beretta, pump action shotgun, or Magnum revolver.
Magnum Force.
I guess we answered that
Yeah.
question. Give me a Magnum.
Okay, Magnum revolver is fine. As for the rules on reloading and stuff, I haven't really done much reading on those because, believe it or not, most of those are from Apocalypse World. So I might just roleplay them as they come if that's okay for everybody.
That's fine. Besides, I picked this up for the Canadian black market.
Mm-hmm.
It's unregistered because it's the 70s and nobody cares.
Yeah.
You picked it up on the Canadian black market, then you spent 2 days trying to get that stupid red thing on the front off the the end.
Oh yeah, dude! Don't get me started, man. Oh well.
Now, did I fire 7 shots or 6?
Let's count them.
Dirty Harry.
One. Yeah, we're gonna have a Dirty Harry moment here for sure.
Oh God, yes.
Man, it should also be messy too, but that's okay. So I think, believe it or not, that's it.
Okay.
The rest we'll do once we confirm everybody else is done.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm just going to go down the line here. Do you mind if we come to you last, Brad? Are you still looking at the character?
I do not mind. I did finally finish with setting up the character stuff. So right now I am just like filling out the character.
Okay. So we'll go to Joe's character.
Yay!
Which Joe has happily, I think, completed mostly, correct?
I think so. I think I've got all the stuff down, but let's take a look.
What about your class moves and your spells?
Working on the class moves. I have chosen my spells.
Okay.
Class.
Primary class skill,
Mhm.
you don't have a lot
Mm.
because you don't need them because you get spells.
Yep.
Where is it here? My brain's gone to Fletch. Huh. Ah, there it is. So you get 2 primary class skills.
Mhm.
You get channeling, which is with spirit. So this is probably the one that you want to shorthand for yourself as a role because it's definitely a role.
Yep.
Okay. And that allows you to get quote unquote your hold, as they call it, HOLD for Urban Shadows, which is basically to gain your spell points to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically what it is. Okay. And it does have some consequences if things go bad.
Gotcha. And this is okay, so channeling I see, and that is a spirit roll. Am I reading that right?
Yes, that is a spirit roll. Like I said, I'll try to keep these up so when we do come to them, we can look them up if necessary.
Just giving myself a shorthand here. More.
I probably should open up a
Okay.
notepad. Okay, and you also have another one. It's really interesting that you have a lot of. We have a lot of saying, "Oh my God, sorry." Hang on. Go away.
Musical interlude. Now beginning.
Ah. Wow.
Hi, sorry about that.
No problem. And the
Okay.
second one.
You do have whoops, I'm in the wrong place. So you do have a special thing for your sanctum stuff. Again, I'm not sure how much that's going to come up. We'll see. Okay. I'll try to make sure you guys get more clues. So basically, when you go back to your sanctum, you can roll on spirit to
Mhm.
basically get stuff. When you go to your sanctum for spell ingredients, relic, or tome, roll with spirit. You get pretty much this thing you need. Now, I'm not going to try to reread the entire book, but again, I don't think it's really mechanically significant. Most of this stuff is going to be MacGuffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happily do that. And my focus also gives me +1 additional hold when using channeling. Okay.
Yes. And your focus is tarot cards.
A very, very old tarot deck.
Dates
Cool.
back to 1960.
Yes, back to 1960s.
Dr. Field.
Definitely 1960s old. Okay, and I believe you get to pick how many spells? 3?
3.
What spells are you picking?
Veil, teleport, and tracking. So how those work is, hang on.
There's maybe mark them on your character sheet, and then we'll look at them as they come up.
Yep, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And as for your character questions, you do have them filled out. But we can go through them for everybody's.
Sure.
So who are you?
Who are you? Mr. Quinn, also known as the mysterious Mr. Quinn, the weird one, and that freaky dude.
Guess which one I gave him?
Dude.
yeah. Quinn is a youngish looking Latino guy with long hair, has a kind of androgynous look, tends to dress very, very sort of low rent.
Sounds perfect. How long you been in the city?
Most of this life. He grew up in, I think Gastown is probably the...
Gastown is basically Monster Town, so yes.
Yeah, so he grew up in Gastown. Although, you know, some days he wakes up and he has memories of a time from Vancouver way back when it was formed, and sometimes he wakes up and he doesn't, so...
Oh. What keeps you up at night?
Wondering where he's going to be led to next by the spirits and the powers that lead him, and also the people that he invites home.
Okay.
Of which there are a few, and of which there are, you know, many genders and races. If they can consent, Quinn has probably invited him back to his place at one time or another. Just kind of 13.
Oh my goodness. What have you sacrificed for your power?
Ignorance. He has sacrificed his ability to not know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Also concerned for the illusions of others. He really doesn't care much if other people don't want to know what's going on in the world.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
He and Chris get along really well.
That's awesome.
You're just pissed because every so often, you know, I'm my usual guest host. When we did pull the all-nighters on the radio channel, I say, "Get your ass over here, man!"
Oh yeah. There's been a few times where he's talked on the radio.
Oh yeah.
What do you desperately need?
To feel as though what he's doing is worth the price he's paid.
And the new one I'm adding, what is your opinion of Halloween?
Halloween is really important. It's a time of mystical power. It's a transition time. It's a time when the veils tend to be particularly thin. It's also a time when people let off the excess energy and steam of trying to live in society every day and get to come out and let their beasts loose. So yeah, it's incredibly important.
So I'm guessing you're in favor of Halloween.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I think that is that. We will go to Leo. Now, Leo probably has the most complicated character, which is the vet. Now, complicated in a sense that there's a lot of little ins and outs.
Okay, let's get started. Well, I already filled out my stats. I got that in my faction all filled out. So,
Sounds like a plan.
and I got my moves set up.
So, let us take a look at the bio here. Now, one of the things that's going to have to come up that you have to really remind me of, Leo, is making sure we try to get people in your web. And we can definitely talk about that of who's in your debt when we get into the debt thing.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the major, I like to say, core mechanics of Urban Shadows, and what I've seen from a lot of the Apocalypse World style stuff is the interaction with other PCs and NPCs. And Leo's character has the ability to, in my opinion, the way it seems to be registering, is have a few more people in their web that they know secrets of, and that's something we'll have to work out with Leo once we get through maybe the intro. So, who are you, Leo?
I am Arnhide Steiner. I was born in the 1780 and I was as a child when I was 16. I was in the Napoleonic Wars, and that's where and I fought in there. And that's where I got my vampirism, is when I was like 18, 19 or something like that. But the vampire turn changed my features very badly. I moved over to Canada in 1880, and I was one of the people who, and I've lived there ever since.
Did you ride the train?
Probably. Well, actually, you might have come the other way up by boat.
Okay, just curious, because that's about the right time when the transnational, railway went through.
How long have you been in the city, Leo?
Since the 1880, I was one of the architects of Victory Square.
Ooh.
Are we having a Gozer moment?
Dun 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 dun. Dun dun.
Because I'm all about the military. I was a soldier once, and I thought it was a good touch, and I was very interested in the project, and I got involved in it and helped out whatever. But I was in the shadows. No one knows I helped out, but I know. Yeah, I helped out a little, convincing people.
Okay. How do you keep your cravings in check?
Rat catcher.
That's an assumption.
Why would I keep my cravings in check? I understand this question. No, I
Hey, you stay away from Ralph, man. I'm just saying.
I would say I am like a vigilante with my cravings in a way, and I'm a gentleman's gentleman. I'm one of those people like old school. Like I was born in the 1800s. I mean, back in the day, and I just do not like the way women are treated now, and any guy that treats women badly. And one of the things I keep my humanity in check is I don't feed on women. I only feed on men who I feel are a displacement to society and deserve to die.
Okay, now that is a bit of awesomeness.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Okay. So who turned you? Now, because I have no predestination of this, I'm not sure who turned you is going to end up in our plot line, but we'll see how long we play this game. So who turned you? That's a hard question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You don't even have to have a name. We can just was it a random Napoleonic soldier? Was
I
it
think
somebody?
it was like a vampire who was with the Napoleonic Wars that I became friends with that basically turned me.
Would you say that they were, let's say, kind of like a secret soldier? That maybe they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. They're there for ulterior motives.
Well, yeah, like in the Highlander, where
Yeah.
he likes to put his nose into people's business. He likes going to war all the time because he's immortal. Like, oh, I'm not scared because I'm immortal. Kind of like that. He was there because he was really believed in Napoleon and in his way of view, and he wanted to fight for Napoleon. And I was kind of in that boat too.
Okay.
But we became friends, and we were bunkmates. And he turned me because he wanted me to stay alive. I got hit or something, shot, and I died.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to die, and so he turned me so I wouldn't die. He did it to save my life, but then the grotesque effect happened to me because I turned into Nosferatu.
Okay, so this is definitely getting into kind of like, what if Interview with the Vampire went really bad?
Yeah.
Which I am enjoying quite a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's up to you whether or not he's still alive. So.
Well, again, I hadn't planned on it at this point, but I do like this idea that, your creator was this, he just got into going to war because it's a good place to find victims, and he found a belief system. He found the belief in Napoleon. He finally found his edge.
Mm-hmm.
And the question becomes, what happens after Napoleon gets defeated, and what happens to him? But that's an interesting plot line we can touch on at a later date, maybe, if we come back to it.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, just tell him he went to the South America to go fight with Simon Bolivar and all that.
Yeah.
Basically, wars.
And since I was really good with the French, that's maybe the reason why I'm in Vancouver, because, right? Right? Because a majority of the Vancouver people come from France, obviously,
Obviously. Obviously. That's West Coast.
I'm like one of the immigrants
maybe.
from France.
Yeah.
One of the original.
You could definitely be we can work into the other history and stuff. Maybe you're displaced out of Montreal in the east and just got sick of what was going on in Montreal and came out west. So definitely go down that route, because that's actually kind of Canadian history.
I'm just saying, I came to Canada because I thought,
it's Canada.
The world, part of the new world. I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
For Europe,
So here comes a big question, because again, Cornerstone, as perhaps, probably the oldest person, what schemes what scheme are you invested in now? So what scheme are you invested in now? And it doesn't have to be super specific, or it can be as specific as you like. And if it's not actually something in Vancouver, because I'm not from Vancouver, I don't have a lot of knowledge of Vancouver. So if it's just something you want to make up, that's out in a city. Or do you want to wait until we figure out how you fit in with the other characters?
I think we'll wait on that one. My scheme. Because I think he's like a kind of a person that plays in the backfield, and I react to other people. I'm a person that reacts to other people's scheming. So I'm basically like a goalie, basically. I'm trying to keep as much score.
We could actually go for what scheme you're invested in now is looking for the next big thing, right? You're waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting on the next scheme. You haven't spotted one you wanted yet. And that will definitely get us into our next question, which is, why we're doing this, because it's supposed to be our Halloween kind of episodes. hence my awesome Halloween tie. Let's just sorry.
Keep plugging away at the time.
Plug away tie. So, what is your opinion of Halloween? As my new question to Urban Chef.
I'm definitely for it because I think it's my only time that I can actually go out and mingle with people.
Ooh.
I mean, like the only time, because I like to stay in the shadows, because I know I'm messed up. I don't like to remove my hood. Only time I do is to feed. You know, I'm very aware of my appearance and that it will disturb people, and I keep myself away as much as possible. Or when I do converse with people, you know, I keep the bag, you know. But Halloween is the only time I'm able to go out in the streets. You know, everybody thinks it's just a costume. Like, oh, that's a cool costume, you know. Type of thing.
So Halloween actually kind of makes you feel comfortable and safe.
Yeah, it makes me the only time I can actually be a human and interact with the world.
Love that. That's perfect. We're all on the same wavelength. That'll make my job a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And perhaps from the game, but that's okay. So that is Leo. We'll go back to Brad. Oh my God, Brad picked a name I can't. Okay,
No,
I'm just gonna
call me Dr. Feelgood. It's okay. That's
call Brad Dr. Field. Okay, pronounce your name for us, Brad.
Oh, Aileron Feelgood.
One more time, please.
Aileron Feelgood.
Aileron.
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 I could always call you Doc. You know that.
Okay, that's fine too. Well, sure.
For our viewers out there, Feel Good is FYLGWYD.
Because replacing Y's with vowels is cool.
Always. He's Faye. You have to. It's required.
Yep.
That is so amazing, Brad. That is ridiculous. Okay, so, love it. So
ridiculous?
You were playing a what, Brad?
I'm playing a Fae, a unseelie Fae, kind of a drug dealer. That's. Is that like the question? Who are you?
Hang on. I have to get your actual questions for you. Now, yes, who are you is normally the number one thing that comes up. Unfortunately, I have to scroll for the book. I apologize highly.
No worries.
There you are. Okay. Let me copy those, I hope. Sorry, my reader is not cooperating. Copy. There it is. Okay. Let me go to edit. All right. Let's do this officially as I have been for everybody else. So, who are you?
I'm just a businessman. Really, some people attach a negative connotation to certain substances, and that's just a shame because they're missing out on critical experiences. And how else are mere mortals going to get a taste of the perfection that is the Fae?
I need to ask Brad. I have to, because you are just leading me down this road, and I hate you so much right now. Are you selling fairy dust?
Well, okay. What are the consequences of that?
Well, other than maybe getting flagged by the FBI right now in real life.
Canada. There's no FBI here.
I do like the idea that you are selling a product called fairy dust, but it's not the 1970s like LSD fairy dust everybody thought it was. It's literally fairy dust.
See what his
Yes.
catchphrase is being, you want to go to Neverland.
I think he sells a variety of things, and
Right. Okay.
sometimes it's full on. Sometimes it's the real stuff, and sometimes it's just chemicals.
Cut with dandelions.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
for this one, what am I looking for? Kind of more of on maybe. Do you want to be more like I am, kind of like like Carlito? I am a businessman, or are you actually more of like the hippie side, where like I am not selling you drugs, I'm selling you an existential experience.
Closer to
I'm
the
opening-
latter. Like he's definitely somewhat ambitious in terms of like he's interested in expanding his turf and client base, but he doesn't really want to get into a war over it.
Ambitious. Sounds like a plan. If I can spell ambitious. There we are. Okay. How long have you been in Vancouver? How long have you been in the city?
I'm.
Jesus.
Well, okay. I think that is sort of a complicated question in that he's taken a number of vacations home, over the time that he's been officially living here. I think he's probably been living here for like in total like 20 years, but he's only been here for pieces of that, like 5 years.
I'm okay because the way the system works to go, it's complicated, takes lots of trips.
Perfect.
Are we good with that, Brad?
That's perfect.
Have
Yay.
you ever
I mean,
met yourself on one of these trips?
Yeah, takes lots of trips.
Of some sort.
And he definitely leaves it. I think you probably leave that kind of ambiguous for everybody to try to figure out what kind of trip that is.
Yes.
Now for the fun questions that are a little bit different.
Yay.
What do you love most about humanity? Because
Oh.
you're not human.
Yes. Well, I think really it's their naivete.
They are naive. That's it. That's all you love about humanity. Is they're naive.
You put a magical substance and they pay you money to use it. I like that.
They're occasionally fun at parties.
Occasionally fun at parties.
Occasion.
Okay, that's awesome. Who is now? See, this is a weird question because I'm like, well, isn't this more the debt section? And this is where you have to really think because I don't really have a giant cast of NPCs ready for you guys to go, and we haven't really discussed the history of the city. So,
Uh-huh.
who is your closest confidant in the city? Because this is one of the things of Urban Shadows is the city is supposed to be a living, breathing place
Sure.
that can also alter and change.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Fred's question: how old's your character?
Doesn't matter.
oh well that's definitely complicated.
How long have you known Leo's character? Just out of morbid curiosity.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get into that second.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if that would be one of his closest
Yeah,
confidants.
no, we'll get
Because he's
into
done
that.
it for a century, for through time or something.
I think
We could definitely maybe go that route right now if you want. But
Alamantra, he's a burned out wizard. Like he used to be hot shit, but these days he's very much not on top of his game.
Mm.
Ooh, okay, I could work with that. Okay,
And
what do you?
let me
What?
spell them, but go ahead.
Yeah, I will spell it whatever way I want, and then you can change it in your bio later on.
Okay.
We're gonna go down that route because I am lazy.
Charge.
There's no Y's in it.
Yeah.
I
Well, you
just put
see,
Allah-
things only require
I
one
just put-
vowel per game, no matter how many
I
syllables.
just put Allah and mantra together.
Yep.
So, what do you desperately need?
A hug.
No, not so much affection, but respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now for Jason's question: what is your opinion of Halloween?
Oh, amateur.
Because that's the it's
Yeah, I think
amateur hour.
Yeah. I'm probably the one person who doesn't like it.
You'll probably tolerate it, but it's meh.
It's annoying.
It's annoying.
Well, it certainly gets. I imagine it cuts into your business quite a lot.
Well,
It's
yes
annoying.
and no. I mean, there are a lot of people who want drugs specifically for that night, but they're not the people they're not my regular customers. It's people who are there for that one trip. They don't know what they're doing. Half the time they try and find me after they've purchased the thing, like trying to find out what the hell is going on. Just a hassle.
Why is everything spiders suddenly?
Why so many spiders?
Part of the experience.
Uh,
Chill out. It's
Okay, that's awesome because you have now described the disinfected superstore market worker. Every day of the week is okay, unless it's Boxing Day. Screw you, or Black Friday. Screw you. This is your Black. For you, Halloween is your Black Friday.
Oh yeah.
Especially when it actually is on a Friday. That's just horrible.
Oh no, not that. Well, Saturdays are actually kind of worse.
Yeah.
So, did you have a chance to look through your character and what you want for stuff?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. As for your moves and stuff, maybe we'll describe them as they come up, and I'll let you deal with that as the player of the character.
Okay.
So again, I haven't read each faction or each archetype closely, nor have I memorized them.
Okay. So I did pick some.
Yes.
But I actually kind of like keeping it up in the air later to see what clicks. So I'll go towards the ones that I've picked, but if it works out that something else fits better, then
so
I'd be happy to change.
you should. So are you going to reserve to pick your fairy powers? Because like Joe's character, you kind of have quote unquote spells.
Yes. So I for sure want glamours, and I think I want bedlam as well.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking about Nature's Caress, where you can just kind of do harm, but I'm not completely sold on that. Now
For Nature's Caress, if you again, I'm not sure how deadly this is going to get. We definitely don't have a healer. It's one of those things that if you want to take and kind of be the de facto healer, you can. The way the system works is, because it's MC based, we can definitely go with you can maybe heal yourself with it, but maybe not as effectively as heal somebody else, kind of thing, or at a cost.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you used your fairy power, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mark corruption. I might let you roll one of the basic moves, which is let it out, which is kind of like let it out is kind of their de facto. Like you're not sure what to roll, you roll it. So if you want to let it out, I'd probably let you use Nature Caress to heal yourself if you're successful.
Okay.
Because to me, that's perfectly fine rolls.
Hopefully, no one will have the poor taste to actually shoot at me.
With only what? 5 health? 1, 2, 3, 5 health, and the faint harm is the only one that goes away automatically. Hopefully, no one will take the bad taste to get killed. Considering a lot of the guns do like 3 harm, you're basically halfway dead.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
one of those.
Yes.
Yeah, we fought Funkadelic Frankenstein. It was deadly. This is not going to be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that completes everybody's characters in general. So, to play this by the book, as they say,
Mm-hmm.
it's in a very, very small section of part of the basic moves. But I'm just going to read it off the basic moves that I have. So, at the beginning of every session, which we're at, choose a player of the character that you trust the least to spotlight a faction for your character that isn't already marked, and mark that faction. So, what we're going to do is... we got a 4 of you. What the hell not? We'll go where you guys appear on my screen.
Okay.
And we're going to start with Brad.
Okay.
Yay.
So, Brad,
In the spotlight.
Yay.
one of our player characters that you would trust the least.
Oh, I think. Well, I think probably the standard thing to do would be Eigenhart. Is that the correct pronunciation? Einhart, sorry. Just because don't traditionally the Fae not get along with anybody of the Night faction, and vampires are Night, correct?
You can go with that. I'm okay with that. We can integrate that into our system without any issues.
Okay.
Very open-ended on that end.
And I just assumed that any vampires around want fairy blood, because I'm sure it has properties.
Basically purchased against vampire. I lived around for 200 years. I can't stand this business enough.
Okay, so then Leo, and this is going, again, the way they have this is a little bit weird in a booklet, but this is based off some of the playthroughs I watched. So if this sounds weird, let me know. So Leo then gets to faction for Brad that he can mark on his character sheet as kind of his first experience point. So if you look at your character sheets and you look at factions, there's a little square that says marked. And you just check mark the mark. So Leo gets to dictate what faction you think Brad should mark and kind of why. Like a rumor or conflict you heard about the faction.
For Brad or for me?
Yeah, for Brad. That's how it seemed to work on the playthroughs I watched.
So I have to decide what faction he is marked with.
Yeah, you could decide what faction he marks on his character sheet.
So is this, when you mean marked, does it mean like they don't like him? Or does it mean that he's really good with it? I don't understand that part.
Okay, the idea when you have when you marked is basically you have a relationship with them, and it's neither bad or good. Like if you mark a faction, it could be that they owe him a debt, or he owes them a debt, or something like that. Like it's typically Let's see here. Tell the MC a rumor or conflict that you heard about the faction building and previous established information if you'd like, and then roll with the faction. See, it's kind of weird, okay?
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So I think it's supposed to. Hang on. Let me see. This is one I don't like. At the beginning of every session, choose the player of the character that you trust the least to spotlight a faction for your character. Okay, so you're spotlighting a faction. Okay. I marked that faction. Tell the MC. Hang on. Let me maybe go to the main book. I apologize. This is going to happen a lot today.
No problem.
The factions.
Okay.
Ooh, actually, we should probably do that first. Shit. Sorry. We're doing this wrong. We're doing it wrong. I'm not sure if it really matters in what order we do it, but we should actually establish debts first. That makes much more sense.
Oh, okay.
I totally apologize. That's my bad. So we'll start with Brad again, since that's where we left off, so we don't cheat poor Brad out here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let me get my fade. Okay. So Brad, you have the following debts you need to establish. And you'll have to try to make note of these somewhere for me, please, if you don't mind. So Brad, your first debt is someone broke an important promise to you and swore they would make it up to you. You owe them 2 debts. Oh, I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I lost you too, but I don't hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
There you go.
I was muted because the dog keeps going yap 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 yap. Anyway,
As to the ambience, we'll just assume. So yes, I completely screwed up. We should do debt first before we do the other stuff.
okay, so they owe me the 2 debts, right? Not
No. Yeah, they owe you 2 debts.
Okay.
So someone broke an important promise to you and swore they would make it up to you. You can quickly state an NPC, which might be kind of hard to integrate. I have a couple of NPCs listed that aren't very well fleshed out, or the preferred method is to actually pick one of the other player characters.
Yeah. Let's go with the PC. Okay. All right, Mr. Quinn. Oh, I'm getting an echo.
That might be from me because I couldn't get my headset to work today.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe, I'll let you pick what the promise might have been. Like, it could have been not at all your fault that you broke the promise.
Yeah.
Not that the fact that it's not your fault matters to me.
Well, no, of course not. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, what would it have been? I think here's what I'm thinking. I think that I made you a promise to be. Actually, okay. So I made you a promise to be at a certain place at a certain time, on a certain date, and I wasn't there. Now, question: do we want that to have been recent, or do we want to have that to been like 60 years ago?
It doesn't matter because the debts are still there, so you can cash them in any time.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just for character between our characters. Like, is this a debt that I owe you, but I can't remember why I wasn't there?
Yeah, I think it's more amusing if it's an old debt.
Mm-hmm. Feelgood owes me -1 debts.
-2.
-2 debts? Okay.
Yeah, -2.
For me not.
The way it's listed on the character sheet's a little bit weird. They have a place for debts and character sheets, and some of them come up as a -2. So when you see a -2 for debts, that means it is owed to you.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, if you know what I mean.
You owe someone a debt.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so yeah, I have that. I owe Dr. Feelgood 2 debts for not being there at the proper place and time.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely a debt that I honor, even though I have no idea why I wasn't there or even remember making that promise. Because that's just how shit works when you're a wizard.
Yeah. Don't worry. I won't let you forget.
Oh my god.
And you don't let him forget, and that's why he knows he has that debt.
Exactly.
I owe him something. I don't know what I did to piss him off, but
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm reading about the session intro thing.
No problem.
Which we don't really need to roll, I think. I think we can just mark it off because of the way I'm going to work this.
Yeah.
We'll see. Come on. Bookmark, please. Thank you. Right. So I think that works okay. So we'll keep on going. So the next one for Brad is you are keeping something hidden from someone. You owe them a debt. So this is where you have to owe somebody else a debt.
No, it says
They still owe me more debt.
Or they owe you a debt. Sorry, thank you. They owe you a debt. You're keeping something hidden for someone. They owe you debt. Thank you, Leo.
No problem.
So I think in this case it may be something that the men in black are after, or the government, or just them. That RW doesn't want them to find that I stored in the Fae for him.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Nice.
So maybe make a note of that.
Pictures of recordings.
So, Chris, what sort of thing would that be?
Oh,
Just like proof of the that it was in fact like.
you have the yellow headband. It was going to Vietnam back in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Done.
Excellent.
And you've perked my curiosity because of it, and you're trying to get me out of retirement because, I still work out, I'm still there. It's just, I'm mostly behind the mic now, doing my weird conspiracy videos at 3 a.m. I'm basically doing a local version of Coast to Coast.
Nice.
Do you and Art have a rivalry?
Yes, might as well.
Hang on, we'll get to that. Next
I
one,
think that. Sorry. I think that I probably don't know the significance of it. I'm like, keeping it for you anyway. But
yeah, I got my suspicions, but you haven't actually shown it to me yet. Because that way you can have a sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I thought I was hiding it for you, not from you.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change it because
for you, like something that you have that the Men in Black want. Like
let's go.
Actual proof of that they think the moon landing or something like that.
Yeah, or that it was in fact. what was it? That you like a tape of Hoover ordering certain mafia elements to assassinate JFK, that sort of thing.
A folder. You have a dossier. We'll explain it later, okay? And says, I got the proof, man, but it's going to cost you.
Okay, so I'll just put for hiding the proof.
Secret dossier.
Yeah, and that way we can always fill it in later if it becomes plot expected.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Man, you get a lot of debts owed to you. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a faith thing.
It is definitely a faith thing. You entrusted someone with a dangerous task. Ask them if they succeeded or failed. If they succeed, you owe them a debt. If they fail, they owe you 2 debts.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, this is weird because there's no rolls going on here. So it's just basically like, you succeed or fail. Yeah! Screw the rolls.
Yeah. Well, just to farm it around, Einhart, that it was a very dangerous task. Did you succeed?
I've been a liar for 200 years. What do you think?
No!
He has a certain set of skills.
I have certain set of skills.
Yes.
Now, if it hadn't been an Italian restaurant with lots of garlic, he might have actually succeeded.
Listen very carefully. You're going to get captured.
Yes, do that whole thing in a bad German accent, as though it's through a burlap bag, and we will all love you.
What was the thing that you asked me to do that was very...
Oh, yes. So, I think that there was a rival she who was like setting themselves up as Duke of like a really major chunk of the city, and it was a problem for me, and you know, if some vampire goes and takes him out, then obviously it wasn't my fault that they were killed. I had nothing to do with it.
Mm-mm.
I recommend the title for this boss, the Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister. I like it.
And since you know my...
I'm sorry, I heard the Purple Meister, so...
I'm assuming you in the way you did it, probably you heard rumors of my, or you knew that I had this, vigilante type of thing. You painted this guy to be like the worst scum of the earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you said, you should go after him. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, if I do this for you.
So the question becomes,
That guy he's made of rape. You should kill him.
You should totally murder him.
And then the response back when you finally did the deed is you looked him right in the eye and said, "You deserve a break today."
No.
Yes, it was a setup for a joke. Deal with it. Okay.
do I need to create something for X cards? Hang on.
What, bad
Yeah,
joke?
we may need some X cards in this one. It's a little... Just by the nature of the game, it's a little edgy.
Yeah.
So, dangerous task. So,
I do like the idea that, Brad maybe goaded you going after somebody. So the question becomes, how do you decide if you're successful or failed? Because if you success, Brad owes you a debt. If it's a fail, you owe him too.
I don't know what to say. It's up to you, boss.
Oh no, it is in fact up to you.
Well, I was talking to the DM.
Oh,
GM.
okay.
Do we want to roll something for it?
Yeah.
Or do you want to say...
Yeah, this is one of those things where there is no rolls for this. It's so weird. Okay.
So we just do an even odd. Nice, simple, to the point.
Well, no, I think we'll go because typically players do not do contested roles ever in the system. It's one of those weird things. You either succeed or fail and deal to consequences. The only time you get stuff is lend a hand. So let me get that rule out.
Okay.
Because this is about as close as we're going to get is lending a hand. And see if I can remember how that works, because I'm sure that's going to come up quite a lot. Let's move. All right. So when you lend a hand or get in a way, roll with their faction. Okay. So what is your faction? So Brad's faction is wild for Fae, right?
I assume so.
Wild. Yes,
Yeah.
wild.
Okay.
So Leo, you need to do if we're going to do a roll for this, let's do a faction roll under wild. We'll treat this as we're going to treat this as lending a hand to him. If you succeed, we'll go that Brad owes you a debt. If you fail, you owe him too.
So how do I roll for my faction?
Okay, so if you go to your character sheet, there's a good experiment to the character sheet. And if you go under factions, there's a little scroll down where you can scroll what faction you're using.
Yeah. I
So-
see.
Yeah, click the drop down to wild.
And then which one? Roll.
So if you click the drop down to wild, and then you press the dice thing right beside lend a hand or get in a way, we should get a result.
Oh, Jesus. So I don't fail.
Okay, so we will now say that you owe Brad 2 debts, and the Burgermeister is still out
Still
on the loose
lives.
somewhere.
Yes.
And assuming that he is still alive or it's still alive, it is still out there.
I think we all know the picture in my head of what the Burgermeister looks like.
And it's not what you think. No.
Does he look like the hamburger to you? Because he looks like the hamburger.
I think Mayor McCheese, but that's just me.
Oh, Mary McCheese, yes.
Yes.
Oh, God, we are horrible.
Now, again, because I'm doing this as a test, some of this may come up in the future if we want to build on our plot line. Selling enough to Burgermeister kind of works into what I wanted anyway. So that's hooray.
All right, you got bread
Okay.
done now.
That's awful. So I think we're done everything Brad's character. Am I correct?
As far as I know, except that every time I fill out look and demeanor, that it disappears. But
Yeah, I've got that same thing on my sheet too.
Yeah, I definitely know the
That's
description.
probably a nuisance thing. You can put there's a notes section on the bottom. You can put that in notes section on the bottom if you wish.
okay.
Or even just in your bio would be okay. I should be memorizing whose faction is which.
Well, at least I got the bad rolls out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm out of the right way at the start.
Okay. And I'm going to retroactive for the session intro thing. We're not going to worry about. What do you think? It says here if you start in because the idea of doing like describing who you trust the least and what you're prepared for is actually to build a plot line on the go kind of thing.
Yeah, to build a conflict.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll skip that for now. If we want to come back to that, we can.
Okay.
And just see how you guys get along. I think the debts go a long way to determining who trusts who anyway. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's going to help a lot.
that was unfortunately going to help a lot. So we'll go to Chris's character then.
Okay.
Veteran.
Because he just happened to be next on my list. The veteran. Debt. Not as crazy. So someone relies on you for training or knowledge. They owe you 2 debts.
Does that have to be within the group?
That's the preferred. If you want to make up an NPC on the go, we can.
I don't.
Again, no guarantee that they're going to come into play, but if you bring them into play, then you bring them into play.
Yeah. Okay, Quinn, you're a freeloading bum. I keep paying the damn rent.
That works for me.
You owe me, man.
Are you okay with that, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. So Robert owes me. I owe Robert 2 debts for room and board.
For room and board.
Yeah. Long story short, I was here first. I got a menial job down in, say, the 7-Eleven underneath, and I do my thing at night. And, well, it's well rent controlled. I'm able to keep a small thing. And then one day a wizard showed up. My thing and said, I'm going to be your roomie. And,
actually, we can actually go the other way around. Let's see if I remember Joe's character. What was your access to the sanctum? Did you have restricted access? I can't remember how that goes.
No, actually, I do not have restricted access.
So what was your limits on your sanctum?
It attracts otherworldly attention, and it always lacks a key piece or ingredient.
Okay, so that's kind of how we're going to work this, is that you guys are been sharing. Joe's been there the longest, so you're actually probably rooming with him, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're the one with all the cool shit. He had basically a crap-ass apartment until you brought all the good stuff in.
Dude, I knew a guy,
probably on the bills,
and he
too.
basically came in here, some old buddies from the war. And we redecorated. I literally came home one day, and the entire thing was furnished for the first time ever. It had a couch, it had a TV, it had Ralph, my dog,
Joe always tends to lack a key piece of equipment, and the debt that he owes you is that you tend to have that key piece of agreement, piece of stuff. Are you okay with that, Joe?
Yeah,
I like that. I think it's going to work perfectly.
And
I think that works fine with how the sanctum's set up. So
yeah, exactly. And my MacGuffin is the duffel bag. Sometimes I reach in there and crazy shit pulls up if we need like a quick one.
Yeah, we're not going to worry about
that. Still always full of weird crap.
Yeah, we'll go into other debts then.
Okay.
Every time I pull something out of the bag, I ask, "Are you sure you're not a wizard?"
No, man, dude. I've been everywhere, man.
All right. So the next one up is you're working on something big for someone, and it's nearly ready. You owe them a debt. Or they owe you a debt. Sorry, they owe you a debt.
Okay, just because I need a connection to Leo's character. What do you want and what can I do?
Something big for me, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm.
Oh, I know. I'm like the old guy, and for reasons beyond my comprehension, or I feel that I've used you as my go-between. Like, so if I need something mailed or I need something taken care of, I go to you. I'm working on projects, for Vancouver, building a hospital here, doing this and that. You're like the guy that I use to correspond with.
Well, again, I'm basically look like, a variation of Rambo from First Blood, so I'm kind of a brave fellow, and I can walk through the mean streets without too many problems. And I'm usually packing.
Yeah, okay.
I got the swagger. And
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Well, can I? So.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I don't know. I was just throwing an idea out there for you.
Go for it, man. We'll run this one.
How about someone responsible?
So you're working on something big, and it's nearly ready.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm relying on him for help.
Sure.
That's basically how that's gonna work. Yeah, you
So-
owe Chris a debt because he's developing.
All right, how about this then? Like I'm working on building some type of project, some type of high-rise project. I've secured something or other,
Ooh.
and he's keeping the drug dealers and everybody away from that district, so I can keep it where it's not bad or a place like that.
Yeah. And just to make things interesting, our apartment is in that area.
Okay.
Quinn and I,
Okay,
because we're right in the middle of things, and that way it'll help tie everything together.
Okay.
Yep.
So to go down with the history of Vancouver, I kind of put in my brain, are we okay that this is maybe blueprints or something similar like that for the Gastown gentrification project?
Sure.
We'll just go the Luke Cage route with this.
And it's in my duffel bag because we need a MacGuffin place.
So I'm okay with this. Okay. And one last one for Chris.
Okay.
Oh, I
Someone
don't
keep-
have my debt. Okay.
Yeah, so you owe him a debt. You mark that on your character. I also marked it as a -1 on Chris's character as well. Okay. And I'm just using initials for most of your characters, by the way.
No, that makes sense.
Because trying to spell Einhart every time will probably give me an aneurysm. Sorry.
All right.
I can't spell my own name. It's okay. So, next one is someone keeps pulling. This is for Chris still. Someone keeps pulling your ass out of the fire. You owe them 2 debts.
And that balances out perfectly. There's only one person who I'd owe money for that, and that's Quinn. He owes back rent, but he keeps saying my ass out, and we kind of have this weird tally that we're kind of roughly even.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
a 70s show, man. You know it.
Yep.
So Quinn owes -2 debts for pulling ass out of fire. And we'll leave that as ambiguous as possible.
Oh yeah, we'll do these as a teleporter. That alone gives us, stuff.
This is true.
Yeah. Sorry, I think Joe and I have taken over the plot again. We apologize in advance.
Robert, you do not want to walk down that street wearing that jacket. Trust me.
Whatever, man. Whatever. I'm not too worried, but okay, fine.
See you in half an hour.
Okay, we're going to move on to Joe. We're going to keep it moving.
Yay.
So, Joe,
Hmm.
your debts are the following.
Yes.
Someone is helping you keep your demons at bay. You owe them a debt.
Now,
And
I
I might
actually,
say, because you and Chris already have 2 each, you got to pick somebody else.
Yeah, because we're
agreed. I'm actually thinking I want to go because I've got a pretty solid debt relationship with Chris's character. I actually want to pull in an NPC for this one.
Sure, we can make an NPC for this.
I actually like one of the NPCs you've got listed, a Miss Evans.
Okay. Okay, this is awesome. Okay.
okay. Who is this?
So, hang on.
Yeah,
You
what's
owe-
her deal?
Yes. Okay. So Miss Evans isn't completely fleshed out yet. Okay, because the way their NPC worker crater works is like, just pick a couple of like details for them and let the players deal with it, and then write them into the story whatever way you want. So
Mhm.
she's written into the story. I can't let you guys know how,
Okay.
but she is a local oracle. She is well known. She's a little old lady. She's grandma.
Yeah.
She's grandma down the block. She
And
lives
she's a
in,
librarian.
she lives in I'm going to get all my things wrong. So she lives in a neighborhood just adjacent to Gastown. It's one of the older neighborhoods. I think it's called Hastings, if I'm not incorrect.
Oh no, she's not in Hastings, man. That place is a dive.
Yeah, but it's a dive in the human sense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's in Hastings.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only a dive from a human sense. The reason why it's a dive is because that's a secondary monster outlet. It's a dive only to keep the humans out. It's that Neil Gaiman thing where there's something under the surface that the humans don't see.
Okay.
So
Monsters.
you
Monsters know about it.
want to owe her a debt?
Yes. Miss Evans is one of my regular information sources, but she's also someone that I go to when shit is really like shit is just really bad and the nightmares won't stop. And so I go and we'll spend the afternoon or evening with her, and I help her do groceries. I basically we both sort of give each other a normal life for a couple of hours.
Okay, keep. I like this. Hang on.
And she'll be the first to die.
No, not yet.
Because of course she will.
I know how 70s, poetry goes as far as storytelling.
Okay, I am good with this. Cool. Sounds good. And Chris, stop giving away the plot line.
I'm just pulling it out of my ass, man.
That's where the best plots come from, apparently.
Someone is your go-to when you get into trouble. You owe them 2 debts.
Well, just to keep it in the family, I think this one should be Steiner.
Okay.
Steiner minus 2 debts. I think we probably haven't met much, Leo, our characters, but I think that someone you should go to when you get in trouble. I think you're definitely one of the people that I go to when I know something bad is going down or is about to go down. And so I go to you and say, I think I've gotten in way over my head. Can you help me fix this?
You know you're over your head when you start asking a vampire for favors.
Yeah, exactly. Does that work for you, Leo?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey.
Of course, I'm a gentleman's gentleman. Of course, I would be more than happy to help you. I just may have to suck your blood, though. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But really, I'm not.
And when you get to Leo, yeah, it could be definitely one of those things. I'm not sure how this works because I don't know if that counts as actually having you in Leo's quote unquote web per se.
It does.
Yeah, it kind of does. Doesn't it?
It totally does.
He is anyone that owes me a debt is technically in my web.
And finally, for poor Joe, somebody finally owes you a debt. You're helping someone keep a dangerous secret.
Do it, Brad.
Brad, are you okay with me keeping a dangerous secret for Dr. Feelgood?
Sure. But that'll erase that glorious debt that you already owe me.
Yeah, it does kind of mess that up, doesn't it? Well, okay, so here's
is it 1 debt or 2?
I owe you 2.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thought.
So refresh my memory again. Sorry, my brain is mush up. What do you owe him for again? Sorry.
The failed Burgermeister incident.
Oh yes.
No, that's Leo.
No,
That's
yeah,
Leo.
it's
I owe
decades ago. He didn't show up on time. We were going to meet, and he didn't show up on time.
I promised I would be there, and I wasn't. I don't want to cancel these debts out.
Again, they don't really cancel. They don't cancel out per se. Okay, unless you start spending debts to actually cancel out the debts.
Okay.
Oh, so if we owe each other, that's perfect.
Yeah, actually,
I'm totally cool with that.
In the game, then you go like, oh, but Brad, remember that one time
And then Brad turns around and goes, "Okay, I forgive that one, but I have one more on you, buddy."
Yeah.
So that works okay too.
So, are there people that know? Are there people, Brad, that don't know you're here, that you don't want them to know you're here?
Hmm. Uh. Sure. Let's see.
Well, as a drug dealer, you certainly probably have enemies.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh.
I got two words for you.
Think that there's probably probably someone I like carved my territory out of that I was like kind of slick about, so that so in theory they don't even know I was behind it. They just kind of lost customers.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. This is just a throw an idea. It's nothing crazy, but a werewolf named Huggy Bear.
No, that has to be the cop.
Okay.
That has to be the cop named Huggy Bear. So
maybe it's this Burgermeister guy that you carved your thing out. That's why you want him gone. It isn't empty.
Well, I was thinking of the Burgermeister as Sealy, and he'd be sort of above drug dealing.
Like a mafia guy or something.
Yeah. But like some sort of werewolf would be fine. Like, okay, and it can't be Huggy Bear. Could it be, I don't know, Rufus?
You think it's Rufus.
What's the name?
You think it's Rufus. You think it's a guy called Rufus.
I think it's a guy called Rufus.
But I think I'm going to keep that to myself a little bit. You carved out somebody's territory.
Okay.
Yeah. And me being the guy who likes to cut through the illusions and bullshit, I have
a horrible thing.
This is kind of like a I know, like that I know that you were involved with this, and I know that I know, and that if I go to Rufus will absolutely 100% believe me. And I know that if I go to Rufus will 100% believe me.
Clearly.
But right now I don't have a reason to yet.
Right.
Nothing could be more simple.
Rufus doesn't know who cut into his territory directly.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody knows. Like, this is an inside job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you're not exactly sure how Quinn knows. Quinn isn't exactly sure how Quinn knows, but Quinn knows.
Magic.
Mm-hmm. A wizard did it.
Well, yeah. He has a crystal ball.
And a really cool tarot deck.
Okay. So, I think we're done all those? Yes.
I think we are.
Finally, to Leo. Okay. And this is the one I think you were asking about when we first talked about this, in like 2 or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Someone make sure you get fed regularly. You owe them 2 debts. Wow. That's a tough one. Now, again, it doesn't have to be one of the characters. It could be one of the PCs.
Yeah, because Mr. Quinn owes me 2 debts.
Mm-hmm.
RW. And then Dr. Feelgood, I already am in debt with him for failing on my mission, too.
Could you?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
We can also go with an NPC, which is fine.
Well, you can always make the little old lady, who's the one that's giving you the bodies, kind of when you go over for cookies, is something other than milk in the bottles.
The other way to go is And since you've been in the city the longest, you could have contact with the authorities.
How about Matt Weaver?
Matt Weaver, yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I haven't really fleshed him out too much. Matt Weaver is of the Night faction. Okay, most people don't know, but he is a werewolf. He's actually a werewolf in hiding.
Oh, I owe a debt to a werewolf. This isn't gonna end well.
You owe them 2 debts.
Yeah.
This
So,
makes World of Darkness look like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Wow.
Not quite, but there's lots of debts, and whether or not they come up or not will be, again, if I remember them. So it's a lot to keep track of, actually.
well, it kind of works because he drives stuff around, and and people get into his cab and at night, late at night when someone's drunk or something.
Yeah, this is definitely along the lines that Chris had for Funkadelic Frankenstein, where we had the werewolves basically running the taxis. They're still running the taxis in this world.
Yay.
So we okay?
Yeah.
So maybe Matt delivers you like abusive boyfriends and stuff for you to feed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And
Guy that just got out of jail, and he's like, "Oh, what'd you go to jail for?" And they're like, "Oh, domestic violence." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he says, "Like, oh, okay, hold on a second." Whack.
I got a friend for you to meet. And I think also, you don't necessarily have to kill someone to feed, I don't think. So somebody blacks out drunk at a bar and is on their way home, and they wake up the next day and they feel really crappy. Like, they're not just hungover, they also are suffering from blood loss.
Yay.
Oh, does the feeding work? That's a good question. That's a good question, how you bite people. Anyways, we'll move on. Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Joe, on that end, they only don't die if Leo chooses to when he rolls a certain roll.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, the next debt is someone relies on you for their fix. They owe you a debt. And actually, I'm going to put one more NPC here.
I'm gonna say Chris. You want to do that one?
What's the great debts, and what do you think?
Maybe I because we maybe it's like a give and take thing. Like, I know a lot of it because I've been here for a long time, so I know like the ins and outs of things, and so I give you as much information as I know about who to talk to, who to look up for your conspiracy theories stuff.
And again, you keep pulling the war buddy angle. I just don't say which war.
Yeah. Remember, we're war buddies, right?
Yep.
I went down to the, what do they call them? The Veterans Association building. Even though neither one of us is Canadian.
Right. And they help you anyway because, they're Canadian.
Wait. Hang on. So is this the fix we're going for? To fix that hang on. Let me make sure. So Chris owes you a debt because you got him a Veterans Association card?
Sure.
Are we is it my understanding how this is going down?
Sure.
Or
because I'm okay with that as a fix. That's a fine fix.
Well, yeah, because if he came to Canada to be basically a draft dodger, he needs information and stuff like that, right?
Okay, put that down in your character sheets. I love that. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
so maybe I knew someone that died like hundreds of years ago,
Oh,
So I'm basically under a dead man's ID, but I don't know about it yet.
Yeah,
I like it.
something like that. And then I'll say, "Oh, remember that one time?" See, it'll work in.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
oh.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Now the last one is really weird for you, Leo, because of how your character was done for your history, which I do not want to interfere with. And the last question is, someone bears responsibility for you becoming a vampire. They owe you a debt.
Mm-hmm. So, is he dead or alive?
Well, if they owe you a debt, either he's alive or it's been passed down. Now, if this person's a vampire, they very well may be alive, and they owe you a debt.
I say it was passed down. So, when
It's
I
like a
was
family
Vampire
event.
the Masquerade, I was a member of the Order of Dracul, right?
Right.
So, they are the ones that are carrying the debt.
Okay, hang on.
The guy that created me is maybe long since passed, or he
Lost to history.
lost in history. Yeah, see, who knows? But I can't find him, and I'm like, hey, I'm still here.
So, did we want to give this mysterious group a name? Because I haven't really integrated vampires very well into the system yet. So, did you want to give this mysterious group a name?
Oh, since he was like a Napoleonic guy, Sons of Napoleon.
Yes.
Come on, you got to do the Revolutionary Liberty Sons of Napoleon. You got to have like the big five.
That I'm just going to go Sons of Napoleon because I'm not going to say that every time. However, yes. Leo. And again, probably not going to be in this current plot line, but if we choose to come back to that.
Yeah, sounds good to
Love
me.
this kind of world building.
Yeah. Okay. So, see, this system went completely different. Maybe I shouldn't have built anything at all. Screw you for working on it for like 10 hours. Oh, Leo, that's vampire cult in North America. Vancouver faction.
They make vampire. Yep. So, yeah, basically just like vampires in general, I answered our hierarchy, but
yeah, no, not every vampire is going to be Sons of Napoleon because you're going to get some raging Englishmen that are fucking going to be against that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you remember what happened to Waterloo? I'm like, I was there. You don't have to say. Do you remember? I was there.
They're still arguing over
cavalry without any infantry, but they did it anyways. But I was just a soldier.
Told them.
Their main enemies are the agents of Agincourt. It would be awesome.
Agents of Agincourt. Oh, good lord, man! You can see the little stupid little symbols on their lapels.
Okay. So, does that cover everybody's debts?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So you guys still need to cover your debts.
We need to pay our debts.
But I'm still rolling. Yeah.
Does everyone have 6? I have 6.
What do I have here now?
Certain characters definitely get more than others. This is definitely what I have seen.
I got 6.
Yeah, I got 6 too.
Okay.
I only have 4.
Total, like 3 one way, 3 the other way.
You only have 4 because they were ignoring you, Brad. I'm
I
sorry.
know. You're so mean.
You can get your vengeance on them. That's fine.
We definitely should not have ignored Brad on that one.
Hey, we helped him out on his birthday. Now it's gloves off.
Okay, fair enough.